Meghan and Harry's poor baby may not exist. Our suspicions about Lilibet were well-founded. Is it true that the Sussexes accept the exchange of silver coins for fake children? Once again, it is with great joy and happiness that I welcome everyone to Princess Diana's news channel. One of the reasons I love this channel is that most of you understand that news stories in the media are mostly fueled partly by truth and largely by fiction. We seriously doubt that Lilibet actually exists, but despite this, there was an article about Prince Charles meeting his niece and the rest of Harry's family at the Queen's Jubilee celebrations. And I'm still wondering how exactly Prince Charles found time to meet this made-up child during the celebrations. So if, and it's a really big if, this actually happened, don't you think a few headline-seeking narcissists would have made sure photos were leaked to the media, probably to the Daily Mail? Everyone brought their children to the Jubilee, even little August Brooksbank was there. He was only a year old then and he stayed there for some time, but these two have decided to keep their invisible children private, making sure they talk about them whenever they can, lying about their achievements because they know nothing about child development. But if this meeting had actually taken place, in short, we can be sure that there would have been an anecdote about it or photos that would have appeared in one magazine or another. This child does not exist. I don't think either child exists. Now, maybe they exist for a different family, a different couple, and they're happy to use them for photos, but neither kid lives with Meghan and Harry in this Olive Garden-looking Montecito McMansion. Because when you think about it, it makes no sense. We never saw any photos of Dad taking them to the park, daycare or anywhere else. Were their fathers doing something normal? No. This has absolutely never happened to them in their lives. But it's happened to every other member of the royal family at least once, and that's why it doesn't make any sense. And remember, this was also the visit where Harry claimed his 96-year-old grandmother, the Queen, with only 2 or 3 months to live, was rolling around and playing on the floor with Invisibed. And that's when he could hardly look towards the balcony, and I think he was in a lot of pain. We have said many times that we don't exactly care about the death of the late Queen. He was 96 years old and frail. So I don't think he would have played on the floor with anyone. It would have been practically impossible. And even if it had been possible, it would have been incredibly painful. And there's no way she did it. And how convenient that none of Harry's family was present to meet Invisibet. They were all busy with their royal duties. They didn't want to meet this invisible child. I mean, why would they? No member of the royal family has an official photo of this girl. And the only verified photo of Archifical was from his baptism. The only thing the article really proves is that you can't believe everything you read. And when we heard from the people who were on duty when they flew to the UK, it was confirmed that no children were traveling with them on that plane. So I'm sure this story was promoted by their PR people. And it's not like there will be a comment from the palace to contradict their story. So they continue to lie with impunity, at least for the moment. But someone knows the truth, and whoever this person are, I'm sure they are being paid a lot of money to stay silent. Speaking of babies, I know the news we shared about Catherine's 4th child is exciting. But you also expressed skepticism about this news, and I don't blame you, you're right. You all had some pretty interesting discussions about William and Harry's issues as well. So let's take a look at some of the opinions you left in the comments section in response to Catherine's pregnancy video. As we now know, most of these claims turned out to be false, and turned out to be lies. The bigger problem is that, as false as these claims are, Meghan Markle knows that mud sticks. Meghan tried to be the star of the monarchy and failed. And let's remember, that's when he started criticizing important members of the royal family. And then she talked about how they mistreated her, but if you really dig deeper into what he says, you'll be able to say that he lacks substance or real evidence. But Meghan doesn't care. She doesn't care because she knows that even hinting at something this horrible can cause more than enough damage. This can harm the work of the royal family and damage its reputation. Once the damage is done, it is not easy to repair it. So even when he says something or implies that the royal family is racist, that accusation will follow them like a dark cloud. It doesn't matter that it's not true. Meghan figures enough people will say, well, if she said that, there must be some truth to it. And that's exactly why she goes on and tells these lies. I'm sure you've all heard the saying, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Now, this is just my perspective, but you can see how damaging the vengeful nature of a woman like Meghan can be if someone dares to step in and say, no, you can't do what you want. This is a trend we have seen time and time again. Meghan makes these absurd claims, then tells Harry how upset she is about his family, reminding him how they also allegedly treated his mother so poorly. And this triggers his protective behavior and the anger he has felt his whole life. And then he pretends to be her knight in shining armor, so she tells everyone how poorly she was treated by her own family. And because he's short-tempered and all angry, he doesn't even care that he doesn't know the whole story, that he didn't bother to ask the other party what really happened. You can see this problem in Harry Spare's book as well as the interview they did with Oprah. At first, it seemed like Harry was going along with everything Meghan said. He didn't see any of this happening, but he still rushed to her defense and believed her without a doubt. And I believe that's what began his dramatic fall from grace. Meghan tried to claim she knew nothing about the royal family before meeting Harry, but she knew enough to know they never aired their dirty laundry in public. So she knows she can say whatever she wants, or she can get other people to speak on her behalf like Scooby-Doo, and she will never be questioned. The late Queen said it all when she said memories may vary. This statement was the Queen's polite way of letting everyone know not to believe everything Meghan says because her story does not reflect the truth. The late Queen was incredibly intelligent, compassionate and honest. He would never publicly lie to his people about something like that. So I think Meghan was trying to manipulate the situation to create more problems for the royal family. And I'm convinced that Meghan knew exactly what she was doing all along. He pretended to be this innocent victim because he wanted to be able to manipulate people. And now Harry finds himself in a very difficult situation that I don't know if the reality of everything they did was taken into account or not. I mean, he's been manipulated, but I don't know if he realizes it. So when it's no longer useful, Meghan will throw it away. And then I'm sure he'll come crawling back to his family because they're the only ones who ever truly loved and protected him. Unless Meghan can be stopped, it won't be long before insinuations about Harry's role as a husband and father emerge to make him seem like the villain of this whole story. She will make him seem scary and dangerous so that she can gain her freedom and be able to take the invisible children with her. There will be so many examples. There will be video recordings of Harry being unstable and upset. She knows how to push his buttons and I'm sure she's pushed him over the edge many times. Next, one or more videos will be made public. They will be carefully edited and distributed just enough to allow Meghan to make her point, trying to fool everyone into thinking she was the victim. Harry lost his mind while she was so scared in the corner of the room. And he also had to call the police because he was so afraid for his life and the lives of the invisible children. Now, maybe I'm being cynical. Maybe none of this will ever happen, but I fear that if he tried to do anything, Harry wouldn't have a chance. This will destroy him. I mean, the actress in her will remember what to do. This will be the most important role I have ever played as a battered woman, and I am sure that a lot of money will be invested in solving this problem. I can only hope that Harry or the royal family can get a signed document preventing Meghan from ever writing, saying or speaking to anyone else about this relationship or the royal family again. And then when she breaks the contract because they don't give her the money she wants, well, maybe they can sue her for breach of contract in the first place, and you know that she will. Now the price to pay for Meghan to keep her trap closed will be very high, because it's the only card she has left to play. She wants to be the richest and most famous woman on the planet. Now, folks, I'm not psychic, so obviously I'm not sure any of this is going to happen. But if something doesn't change, I fear there is a real risk of such a thing happening. That's all for my news for today. So what do you think of Meghan? Please tell me your opinion below in the comments. And if you find my video useful, don't hesitate to like it and share it with your loved ones and friends who will like it whenever you want. And don't hesitate to subscribe to the Princess Diana News channel for more updates in the future. Thanks so much for watching. Goodbye, and we will all see each other again this evening.